Hi everyone, and welcome to The Sleepy Scientist. I'm really happy you're here. Tonight, we're going to go on a calm and quiet trip to learn something amazing. So get comfy, take a deep breath, and let's enjoy this peaceful science story together. Before we start, tell me in the comments, where are you watching from and what time is it for you right now? If you like relaxing science videos, don't forget to tap the like button. Now let's begin. Imagine a river that looks still from far away. You stand on a quiet bank and the water seems like glass. It is smooth like a sleeping mirror, and the sky rests on it without making a sound. But if you look closer, you see lines of flow under the skin of the water. You see leaves turning slowly as they pass a rock. You see tiny ripples that begin and end as if they were shy. This river moves, yet it also does not move, because the whole shape of its path was always there. It is only your eyes that arrive one moment after another, like soft footsteps on a long path. If you could stand above the river and see all its bends at once, it would look like one single ribbon, one whole whole. The water would not be a set of moments, it would be one shape. Now think of time like that. Most days, time feels like the river you watch from the bank. There is morning, then there is afternoon, then there is night. We give each hour a name and a number. We tell ourselves we move from one to the next, like stones we step upon to cross a stream. But what if time is not a line we walk? What if time is the river as a whole, always already there? And we are the ones who drift through the view, seeing only one bend, then the next. Scientists call this the block of space-time. They say every event, like a star that is born, a tree that grows or a tear that falls, is a point in that block. Past and future are not gone or unborn. They are there, like towns on a long map. You are the traveller. Your eyes are the lantern. Your feelings are the breeze that follows you. When you watch a sunset, the light you see is old. It left the sun about 8 minutes before it reaches your eyes. When you look at distant stars, the light may be older than your town. Sometimes it is older than the mountains. Sometimes it is older than the oceans as you know them. You're always meeting old light, and yet you feel it now. It warms your face now, it kisses your pupils now. The now you feel is a soft thread the mind weaves from many signals. It is the way your brain makes a small room for you to stand in. In that room you say, "This is the present." Outside that room the river holds many bends at once. The colours there do not rush, they simply are. Think of your breath, in, out. The chest rises, the chest falls. You count softly, and the counting makes the room feel safe. But your cells count in a different way. They follow tiny clocks of chemistry. Inside them, molecules turn like quiet gears. They fold, unfold, and fold again. Proteins change shape and pass messages in little whispers. Nerves carry small storms of electricity from one part of you to another. Your heart listens to the rhythm made by your own body. It keeps that rhythm like a musician who does not rush. All these things happen in time, but they do not argue about time. They are the river. They are the flow and the shape at once. Look at a tree and notice how it seems to stand still. But in slow films, a tree sways, drinks the light, and turns its leaves like ears. Buds appear, flowers open, seeds drop, and the cycle circles back. If you could see the whole life of a tree as one picture, it would be a long, green sigh. You would see a tiny seed cracking with a soft pop. You would see roots draw maps in the dark soil. You would see the trunk thicken like a slow breath. you would see the last leaf fall, which is also the first whisper of the next season. The tree in the block of space-time is a long sculpture. The wind runs over it. Birds perch for a moment, then fly on. Your gaze walks along the sculpture and calls each part now as it meets it. There is a train in the countryside. It moves through sun and shadow. The windows show little movies of wheat and sky. From inside the train, the world slides by. From a hill, the train is a line of silver. From the stars, the train is a dot, then less than a dot. Which view is true? All of them are true and kind. Your life is like this too. From inside, you feel each bright second as it arrives. You hold it, name it, and let it go. From another view, your life is one long thread woven into the cloth of the universe. The first laugh you ever laughed, the song you will hum years from now, the hand you will hold, the place you stood last night under a pale moon, all of it is in the cloth. The cloth does not hurry. The cloth is. Some people say, but I can feel time. I see it change my face. I hear it in the voices of my friends. This feeling is real. It is the mind's gentle way of measuring change. There is a thing called entropy, which is a way to talk about how things move from neat to messy. A sandcastle stands, then it falls. Ice melts. A hot cup cools. The broken egg does not leap back into its shell. We see this and we call it time's arrow. But the laws that guide the tiny things, the smallest parts of matter, do not mind if you look forward or backward. They are like the rules of a dance that work either way. It is our minds and the big patterns of heat and cold that give us the sense of the arrow. The arrow is not a tyrant. It is a story we tell to make sense of the river we are inside. Imagine you hold a photograph of yourself as a child. The smile is bright. The cheeks are round. You point to it and say, "That was me." Now you touch your face and you say, "This is me." You've been many shapes, many moods, many rooms filled with different scents and songs. Yet you've been you the whole time. What if your you is not a spot but a path? What if your you is the whole sculpture laid out in the block of space-time from the first breath to the last, and beyond, through every trace you leave in others? In this view you always exist, not as a single point, but as a gentle corridor, a hallway full of doors and light. You walk through it, and each door opens when you arrive. But the hallway has always been there, calm and complete. Think about sound. When you play a note on a piano, the string inside vibrates. The air moves in waves. Your ear is like a small sea that can feel those waves. The waves reach tiny hairs, and messages travel down a special nerve. The brain listens and says, "A note." But the note was already a pattern, a shape in the air. It did not need your thought to exist, though your thought is what made it yours. Time is like this. There is a pattern, a shape that includes every event from the beginning of what we call the universe to the far edges of what we can imagine. Your awareness is the ear. It walks through the music and calls each tone now. The music itself is present all at once in the score. On a winter morning, frost draws feathers on glass. Each feather is a map of cold. It grows from point to point, but the rules that shape it do not change. They rest in the world like a soft order. If you could see all the steps at once, the feather would not be a series, it would be a whole. So too with your memories. You do not hold all of them at once. You hold one, then another. You trace the chain like beads you slide along a string, but they are all in you, in the quiet halls of your brain, written in patterns of connection between cells. When you remember, those patterns light up like towns at night. Memory is the way you step across your own sculpture and look at a certain part. The part was there, you turn toward it and it shone. Now imagine two friends who move at different speeds. One rides a fast ship that orbits Earth, the other stays at home. When they meet again, the friend on the ship is younger by a little bit. This is a real thing, not a dream. Time, as measured by clocks, can flow differently depending on how you move or how close you are to heavy things like planets. This is part of how the river bends. It tells us that time is not the same for everyone. Yet the block, the whole, holds both stories. It holds the ship's path and the home path. It holds the meeting and the hug. It holds your heartbeat and your first star. The block is generous. It allows many kinds of flow while it stays serene. The sky at night is thick with echoes. When you look up, you are seeing many times at once. A nearby planet reflects the sun from minutes ago. A far star sends a message from a time before your grandparents were born. A faint galaxy whispers from millions of years in the past. In your eyes, all these lights arrive and stand together on the screen of your mind. The present you feel is a kind of kindness. It lets you hold many ages without fear. It tells you this is here, and because it is here for you, you can rest. The idea that time is fake is not a trick. It is a way to say that our sense of time is a mask the mind wears to make the great picture gentle. Behind the mask, the picture smiles with all its parts from early to late, already woven. Sometimes you wake before dawn and listen to a far train. You cannot see it, but the sound finds you. It comes like a slow tide, then fades, and the dark room holds you again. You are here, and you're not moving. And yet you are travelling through the river. You're a lantern that slides along your own path of light. You're the witness for whom the world lights itself. You always exist in that you are the whole path, not just the dot that says now. When you feel alone, think of your other rooms, the child room, the rooms to come, the rooms of the people you love. All of them are lit somewhere in the block, resting, ready for your gaze to visit and to bless. Let us drift deeper into the feeling of this. Think of time as a book of clear pages. Each page holds a scene. The pages are bound, gentle and complete. You do not write them as you read, you discover them. You place your finger on one page at a time, and the page warms under your touch. You turn the page and breathe out. The book does not change because you read it, but it comes alive in you because you care. You're not a prisoner of the book. You're the reader, the warmth, the smile. And in another way, you're also the whole book, because your life, with all its moments, is the shape that book already has. When you rest in this thought, fear softens, the rush softens. The need to grab each moment by the wrist softens. When the wind moves through tall grass, it looks like time is running across the field. But it is only patterns of motion. The grass bows and rises, bows and rises. Your mind bows to each moment and rises to the next. It calls the being before and after. The order matters to you because it is how you make meaning. You put breakfast before lunch and childhood before old age, and planting seeds before harvest. These orders are wise and helpful. Still, beneath them there is a quiet bed of being. In that bed, all the seasons weigh the same. They are all part of the same soft blanket. You can lie down on it and feel safe. Picture a snow globe. Inside it, there is a tiny town. A clock tower stands in the square. Small figures of people hold hands. When you shake the globe, snow falls and spins. From outside you see the whole town at once. From inside, a person might say, "It is starting to snow," or "The square is bright today," or "It is almost night." Both views are honest. You're like this with your life. You stand inside and speak of now. You also, in a larger sense, sit outside and hold the globe. You are both the walker and the watcher. You always exist because the watcher sees the whole even when the walker sees only the step. And so, on the quiet bank of the river that never moves, you look again at the water. The far reach shines with late light. The near part is clear enough to show you your face. Between the two are eddies, slow turning like thoughts that do not hurry. You breathe in, you breathe out, and you understand a little more. Time and maybe the way your mind tastes change. But what you are is the whole meal, set out on the table from end to end with every flavour present. You do not need to rush. You can trust that your path is complete. When you sleep, some other part of your path is awake. When you wake, that part rests. Your life is a circle of rooms in a house you carry. All the doors are there, all the windows open inward. Now imagine placing a leaf on the river. It floats, turns and glides along a line the whole time had already traced. You follow it with your eyes until a bend takes it from view. It is not gone. It is on the other side of the bend, shining the same way it shone here. You smile because you know this is also true for you. The bend is gentle, the water sings without words. Somewhere your first laugh still rings in the morning air. Somewhere your future kindness is already resting in a friend's pocket like a warm stone. The river holds it all, and so do you. Let yourself be the whole, and let the moments be like shells on the shore, each one lovely, each one already part of your endless quiet sea. Let us drift deeper into the river that does not move, and rest in the thought that what you call time may only be a way of touching change. When the sun moves across the sky, you call it morning, noon and evening, but in truth the earth turns slow and steady, and your body feels the shadows shifting like cool hands across your skin. Ancient people watched this and thought the sky itself was turning. They carved stones and built circles of rock to mark the path of the sun. To them, the movement of shadows was time itself. Yet the rock stood still, the earth spun, and the river flowed without hurry. Even now, when you glance at a clock, you see hands turning, but the turning is only a mark against the stillness. Time is not in the clock. It is in your sense of change, in the rhythm of your heart, in the stories you tell. Imagine lying in a meadow where tall grass waves around you. Each blade sways in a slightly different way. Some bow deeply, some tremble, some stand straight. If you close your eyes, you can hear the grass as a single hush, a breath of the land itself. You do not notice one blade at a time, you sense the whole field breathing. Time may be like this. The tiny motions, electrons spinning, atoms colliding, cells dividing, are the grass blades. The hush you feel in your life is the whole field. You call it the present, but the field does not stop breathing when you stop watching. The present is your window. Beyond the window is the vastness where past and future are only other sways of grass. Think of how your body tells time without clocks. Deep inside there is a rhythm called the circadian cycle. It whispers in your cells, telling them when to sleep, when to wake, when to repair themselves, when to grow. Even if you close yourself in a cave without light, your body will still follow this rhythm. It is as if your body is a tiny echo of the turning earth. Morning is written in you, night is written in you, yet this writing is not absolute. If you travel across the world, your rhythm shifts. If you stay awake under electric light, your rhythm adjusts. What you call time bends to your habits, your place, your path. It is soft clay shaped by where you stand and how you move, and still, behind the clay, the river rests, holding every bend already. Now picture light itself. Light does not adhere the way you do. A photon, which is the smallest bead of light, leaves a star and crosses the space between. To you, the journey may take years, centuries or more. But to the photon, there is no waiting. The distance vanishes in its own measure. It leaves and it arrives. No in between. To the photon, there is no past and no future. Only the act of being. This is one of the strangest lessons of physics. Just that time may not be as universal as you feel it to be. To matter that moves with light, time may not exist at all. And if part of the universe knows no time, perhaps time is not the ground, but a garment, worn only by certain forms of life. Consider the stars. They burn for millions, even billions of years, yet their light arrives to you in an instant of wonder. The stars are markers, but they are also reminders that what you call now is woven from many thread of then. You stand beneath a tapestry made of different ages, yet your eyes join them into one moment. That joining is your gift. It lets you feel the universe as a whole breath. The stars do not hurry, they do not know they are old. They are what they are. And you, looking up, join their voices into a single song called Night. When physicists speak of space-time, they speak of it as a block, a four-dimensional quilt where all events have their place. They say the past has not vanished, the future has not yet to be made, they both simply are. Your childhood laughter is stitched in one corner. Your future sigh is stitched in another. Both corners are present in the quilt, even if your eyes can only see one square at a time. Some thinkers call this eternalism, others question it. But in the gentle silence of reflection, you may feel the weight of it, that every step of your path is already woven, already shining, already whole. The mind, however, prefers a story. It likes beginnings, middles, and ends. It likes to say, I was born, I'm here, I will die. The story gives comfort because it can be told in order, but perhaps this order is like the order of a dream. In a dream, one scene follows another, yet all of them exist in the dreamer's mind at once. You walk through them and believe in their sequence, but the dream is a single presence. Life may be like this. You dream yourself through time, but in truth you are resting in the whole dream, always complete. Let us think of memory. Each time you recall a moment, your brain rebuilds it from traces. A smell of rain, a sound of music, a face leaning toward you, all come together to make the scene. In the act of remembering, the past becomes present. The neurons fire now, the chemicals flow now. Your body does not distinguish the time of the trace, it makes it alive again. In this way, memory proves the softness of time. You can carry a moment across years, breathe into it, and feel it again. The past is not gone. It is folded, waiting for you to unfold it. Perhaps the future too is folded, waiting for the touch of your attention. And dreams themselves, they bend time until it is unrecognizable. You fall asleep, and in a few minutes of the clock you may live through hours of dream. You may travel landscapes, meet old friends, learn lessons. You may even feel you have lived another lifetime. Then you wake and see the clock has hardly moved. In dreams, the river shows you another way. That sequence is not fixed, that flow is not strict, that time is more flexible than daylight tells you. If your mind can weave such rivers at night, perhaps the universe itself is woven from a fabric that allows all times to rest together. Picture again the train rolling across the land. From inside, the world runs past the windows. From far above, the train is one bright thread. You are both the passenger and the watcher. You experience the sequence of stations. You also are the thread already stretched. This dual truth is what makes you human, to live as though time is real, while also carrying the whisper that it is not. That whisper is like a secret lullaby the universe sings to you, reminding you that you are more than the clock on the wall. Entropy too adds to this story. You feel it in the way your tea cools, in the way your body ages, in the way order slips into disorder. Entropy tells you that the arrow points one way, but even entropy, when seen in the laws of physics, is a matter of scale. The tiniest particles do not mind which way the arrow points. They play their dance both forward and backward. It is only in the vast numbers, in the clouds of atoms, in the warmth of cups and the breaking of shells, that the arrow appears. The arrow is a story of crowds. You live in that story, but the foundation beneath does not mind. The foundation is timeless. It holds both directions with equal ease. The poet Rumi once said, "Past and future veil God from our sight. Burn up both of them with fire." In his way, he was saying what physicists later guessed, that the present is an illusion, a trick of mind, and that only the whole is real. You are always in that whole whether you notice or not. The gift of science is that it shows you patterns. The gift of poetry is that it gives you peace in those patterns. Together they whisper that your being is more than your ticking watch, more than your daily schedule. You are part of the river that never moves. When you rest with this, even aging feels different. Wrinkles are not signs of loss, but signs of being part of the sculpture. They are lines carved into your place in the block. They are proof that your corridor exists. To grieve aging is to forget that you are the whole corridor, not just the step you stand on. Each wrinkle is a door frame. Each laugh line is a window that once opened onto joy. Each scar is a reminder that the path held storms, and that you walked through them and continued. You always exist because all of those steps exist in the block, shining quietly, waiting for you to see them with kindness. And so we circle back to the riverbank. The water flows, yet the shape of the river has always been there. You close your eyes and feel the hush of the current. It is the same hush in the grass, the same hush in the stars, the same hush in the breath of your cells. Time as you know it is a gentle mask. Beneath it you are eternal, not in the sense of never changing, but in the sense of always being present in the sculpture. The block holds you. The river holds you. You do not need to grasp at moments like a child grasping at fireflies. You are the whole meadow where the fireflies glow. You are the whole sky where the stars rest. You are always here. Return again to the quiet thought of the river that does not move. You have walked its banks in wonder, and you have leaned into its bends with awe. You have felt how clocks are only shadows, and how memory is a window that opens both directions. Now let us rest with the deepest part of this story, where the calm truth waits. Time is not what you believe it to be, and yet it gives shape to your every breath. It is like a dream that feels solid while you sleep, but melts to mist when you wake. And the more gently you look at it, the more it reveals that you are more than its flow. You are the stillness underneath. Think of the mountains. They rise in silence, layer upon layer of rock pressed by ages. To you they look eternal. But they too were once seabeds, then ridges, then peaks. They crumble, they shift, they become dust. The mountains are not fixed in time. They are the same river, wearing a slower face. If you could see the block of space-time, the mountains would be a sculpture of uplift and fall, of stone born in fire, cooled in water, cracked by frost, carried as pebbles into rivers again. In that sculpture, every part is present. The peaks do not wait to exist. The valleys do not vanish. They are all already there, resting in the whole. And so are you. You may wonder, if I always exist, why do I not feel it? Why do I not see the whole sculpture? The answer is that your mind is a lantern built for small rooms. It lights what is near, so that you can live gently and not drown in the vastness. The whole sculpture would be too much to hold at once. Overwhelm your senses like a sky filled with 1,000 suns. Instead, the lantern narrows the glow. It gives you morning, then evening, one after the other. It gives you youth, then age, step by step. The narrowing is not a punishment, it is a kindness. It lets you feel change as a song, with notes you can hum. It lets you taste sweetness one sip at a time instead of all flavours at once. Even so, there are moments when the lantern flickers and the vastness peeks through. When you fall in love, time bends. Minutes stretch like golden threads, and hours vanish like birds in flight. When you are in danger, time slows, and each detail shines with impossible clarity. When you dream, time folds, and you live entire lives in the space of an hour's rest. In meditation, time sometimes vanishes altogether, and you feel only a boundless presence. These are gifts, little windows in the mask. They show you that your sense of time is not fixed, not absolute. They remind you that the river is wider than your steps. Physicists tell us of relativity, that time runs differently for those who move fast, or those who rest close to great masses. A clock on a mountain ticks faster than a clock at sea level. A clock on a speeding ship ticks slower than a clock on the earth below. None of the clocks are wrong. They each trace their own path through space-time. If time can stretch and shrink, then it is not the ruler of all things. It is one measure among many, one way of walking the sculpture. Beneath it, the sculpture remains complete. You are already all the versions of yourself that you will ever be. You are the child, the dreamer, the elder, all resting together in the block. Let us turn to memory again, for memory is a bridge between the illusion and the whole. When you hold a memory, you bring a part of your sculpture into light. The past shines again in your mind's room. In that moment, the past is not gone, it is alive. And when you imagine the future, you do the same. You lean into a part of the sculpture not yet visited by your lantern. You see yourself walking there, and the image feels possible, even certain. These acts of memory and imagination are gentle hints that the whole is already present. You are only walking through its halls. Some traditions whisper that death is not the end of you, but a change in the lantern. The flame goes out, but the rooms of your path do not vanish. They remain woven into the fabric of the block. Your laugh remains in those who heard it. Your kindness remains in the hearts you touched. Your presence remains in the sculpture itself, as one thread among countless threads. To say you always exist is to say you are never erased. You are not lost to the river. You are the river. You are the stillness that holds its course. Imagine yourself sitting beside a window on a quiet night. Rain taps the glass in steady rhythm. Each drop feels like a second. You could count them, but after a while the counting loses meaning. The drops blur into a single hush. That hush is closer to the truth of time. Each drop matters, but together they form a song that is already whole. Your life is like this song. You can count each note, each breath, each day, but the song exists in its fullness whether you count or not. And you are the singer as well as the song. When you lie under stars, you see the oldest light. When you touch your own skin, you feel the newest moment. Both are part of the same sculpture. Both are part of the same block. The oldest and the newest exist together. You two are together with yourself. Every self you have been and every self you will be. You cannot step outside the sculpture because you are the sculpture. You cannot fall out of time because time is the dream you are already dreaming. And in this way you always exist. Now let yourself rest in the comfort of this thought. You are not chasing moments down a narrow road. You are walking through a vast garden where every flower is already in bloom, waiting for your glance. You're not running out of time. You're dwelling in all time. You're not a candle burning down. You're the whole circle of flame glowing quietly with no beginning and no end. You're not a leaf torn by the current. You're the river that holds the leaf. You're not fragile against the hours. You're the presence in which hours appear and vanish like waves of breath. And so the story closes softly. The river that never moves is your own being. The lantern of your mind walks its bends, one step at a time. The block of space-time is the sculpture where you rest, complete and serene. Time is the dream of the lantern. Eternity is the truth of the river. You always exist, not because you cling to each moment, but because you are the whole shape, already woven, already whole. When you wake tomorrow, you will still be the river. When you close your eyes tonight, you will still be the sculpture. Always here, always now, always you. Deep within you, far smaller than the lines of your hand or the whisper of your breath, there is a clock that does not tick with gears or hands. It does not hang on a wall or glow on a screen. It rests in your cells, quiet and unseen, yet guiding you with a rhythm older than human memory. This clock does not mark hours or minutes the way you do. It marks the rising and falling of light, the gentle turn of the earth, the dance between day and night. Each beat is the hush of dawn, each pause is the veil of dusk. And though you may not notice it, your life bends to its song as grass bends to wind. In your brain, near the place where the eyes cross their signals, there is a cluster of cells called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. These cells are like a choir of tiny singers, each with a faint rhythm, but together they form a strong pulse that guides the rest of your body. This is your master clock. When the first light of morning touches your eyes, signals rush to these cells and they begin their song. They tell your body, it is time to wake. Hormones shift. Temperature rises, energy stirs like a bird fluffing its feathers. In the evening when light fades, the choir softens. They whisper, it is time to rest. Melatonin drips into your blood like a cool stream, and the body slows. Without this inner choir, you would drift without anchor, lost in a sea of endless hours. But this master clock is not alone. Every organ, every tissue, every cell carries its own clock. Tiny loops of proteins build and break again like waves on a shore. These loops are the gears of your cellular clocks. One set of proteins rises during the day, then falls at night. Another set does the opposite. Together they form cycles of about 24 hours, cycles that echo the Earth itself. Your liver has its rhythm, your heart has its rhythm, your muscles have their rhythm. Even your skin cells know when it is day and when it is night. You are a symphony of clocks, each one beating softly, each one guided by the master conductor in your brain. Consider what happens when you ignore these rhythms. Stay awake under bright lights long after night has fallen, and your clocks grow confused. Travel across the world and your clocks clash with one another, leaving you weary and unsettled. This is jet lag, the feeling of your symphony playing out of tune. But given time, the clocks reset. They listen again to light and dark, to food and rest, and they find their harmony. You're not trapped by them, but you are woven into them. To live against their flow is to swim upstream. To live with their flow is to drift with the river, calm and carried. Nature itself bends to the same cycles. Flowers open in the morning, close at night. Birds sing at dawn and fall silent at dusk. Even the ocean tides, though tied to the moon, share their rhythm with the turning earth. There is a harmony between your inner clocks and the world's outer clocks. The sunrise you see is not only a signal for your eyes, it is a pulse your body has always known. When you wake early and step into the first light, your cells hum with alignment. You're in tune with the ancient song of earth turning toward the sun. This hidden clock in your cells connects you not just to the earth, but to time itself as life has always known it. Long before humans, plants bent to the sun, animals hunted by day or prowled by night. Evolution carved these rhythms into flesh and leaf alike. Your body remembers what the first creatures once knew, that life is safer, stronger, and calmer when it moves with the dance of light and dark. You may think of time as something modern, something marked by bells or watches, but time has always been here, written in every dawn, every dusk, every turning of the sky. Your clocks are not inventions, they are inheritances carried in you as quietly as blood. Now think of how delicate this song is. A single gene out of tune can shift the rhythm, leaving sleep scattered, hunger misplaced, mood unsteady. Scientists have found families who carry such mutations, their lives marked by nights awake until dawn or by days that feel too long or too short. Yet even here the body adapts. It finds new rhythms, new flows. The clock is strong, but it is also soft. It bends like water, holding its shape but never breaking. You too are like this, steady yet adaptable, always circling back to the song that guides you. Imagine lying in bed before sleep. The room is dark, but in your brain the master clock has already prepared. Melatonin flows, your temperature dips, your heart slows. You feel the weight of the day fall away. You are being led into night, carried by a rhythm you did not choose but that cares for you nonetheless. In the morning the reverse will happen. Light will touch your eyes, signals will stir and you will rise. The clocks inside you do not rest. They mark your path hour by hour, not as a prison, but as a lullaby, always repeating, always returning, always there to guide. And so the clock hidden in your cells is not a cage but a comfort. It is a reminder that you are part of a larger rhythm, that you belong to the earth's turning, that you are never alone in your cycles. Every heartbeat, every breath, every step you take is part of this flow. You are not separate from time. You are time, carried in cells, sung in proteins, whispered in hormones, lived in the rise and fall of every day. When you feel lost in hours, remember, the true time is not on your watch. It is in you, steady and quiet, always faithful, always kind. Let us wander more deeply into the hush of these hidden clocks and feel the ways they shape not only the rhythm of your days, but the meaning of your being. You're not a machine wound up and left to tick. You are a garden with cycles of blooming and resting, sprouting and fading woven into your flesh. The clock hidden in your cells is not a single bell that tolls, but 1,000 quiet waves moving together, forming tides within you. Every system listens to these tides, and together they hold your life in balance. If you close your eyes and breathe, you may feel it, faint but steady, the way your body leans toward light in the morning, the way it folds into stillness at night. This leaning and folding is the soft language of your inner time. Think of hunger. You may believe hunger is only about how much food you have eaten, but it is also about the clocks inside you. In the morning, certain hormones rise, ready to greet the day with appetite. At night, others fall, telling your body to rest instead of seek. If you eat at strange hours, the clocks stumble. Your liver, which expects food by daylight, is asked to work in the dark. Your stomach, which rests in the night, is stirred too soon. The harmony shifts, and the song of digestion becomes uneasy. Yet when you rise with the light and eat with the day, the harmony returns. The cells in your gut and the cells in your brain speak the same time, and the body hums in peace. Time, in this sense, is not outside you. It is your very appetite, your very comfort, your very ease. Sleep too is carved by these clocks. In the early night, deep sleep rises first, carrying you into the ocean of rest where memories are sorted and bones are mended. Later, near dawn, lighter dreams take over. Dreams filled with motion and story, where the brain rehearses and imagines. This pattern, repeated each night, is not random. It is sculpted by the rhythm of your clocks. When you lose a night's sleep, the pattern shatters. Your body aches, your mind feels heavy, your emotions drift. The clocks cry out for balance, and only rest can return it. You may think of sleep as wasted time, but it is the very act of keeping your clocks tuned, the way a musician must pause to tighten strings. Without this pause, the music falters. With it, the music shines again. There is poetry even in the way your temperature changes. At night, your body cools as if bowing to the darkness. In the morning, warmth rises, a gentle sunrise beneath your skin. These changes are not accidents. They are part of the symphony. They guide your energy, your mood, your alertness. A small dip in temperature in the afternoon makes you drowsy, and you call it a nap. A deeper dip at night makes you surrender, and you call it sleep. The clocks hidden in your cells hold these shifts like notes in a score. You're not drifting randomly, you're dancing to a rhythm older than your name. Even your emotions are touched by these inner hours. Have you noticed how sadness can feel heavier at night, or how joy feels lighter in the morning sun? Your brain's chemistry flows with the clocks. Certain messengers like serotonin and dopamine rise and fall with the cycle of light and dark. Your sense of hope, your sense of peace, your sense of love, these are not bound only to your thoughts. They are woven into the time kept by your cells. To know this is to forgive yourself. You are not weak because you feel heavy at dusk. You are not lazy because your eyes close in the afternoon. You are a creature of rhythm, and your feelings are waves on the larger sea. Let us step outside your body for a moment and see how these rhythms live in all life. In plants, there are clocks that tell when to open petals, when to close them, when to turn toward the sun, when to rest. In animals, there are clocks that tell when to migrate, when to hibernate, when to sing, when to fall silent. A bird that sings at dawn is not only greeting the light, it is obeying a clock written in its cells. A bear that that curls for the winter is not only hiding from cold, it is answering the rhythm of its being. You share this kinship. You two are guided by hidden songs. To live with respect for these songs is to join the chorus of the world. Science has uncovered much about these clocks, but their mystery remains. Researchers can trace proteins that rise and fall, can name the genes that switch on and off, can even predict how long the cycle will run. Yet why the cycle feels like time to you, why you experience it as a flow instead of a shape, is still a wonder. Some whisper that the clocks are not measuring time at all, but change, that what you feel as time is simply the measure of difference. The way dawn is not dusk, the way hunger is not fullness, the way wake is not sleep. Perhaps this is enough. Perhaps you do not need more. To know that you live in change and that change has rhythm is already to know something sacred. But there is also grace in bending these rhythms. Musicians play late into the night, and still they find joy. Travelers cross oceans, and still they discover wonder. Nurses walk hospitals under bright lights at midnight, and still they bring healing. The clocks within them bend, shift, adapt. They do not break. They are gentle, forgiving, patient. They ask only that you return when you can, to the light and dark, the rise and fall, the song of day and night. To live out of rhythm for a time is human. To return is to heal. The poet in you can feel this, that your inner clocks are like tides, and tides always find their way home. You may wander far from shore, but the pull remains. The moon does not scold the sea, it simply calls it back. In the same way, your clocks call you back to balance again and again. They do not hurry, they do not blame, they simply wait, steady and kind, until you return to them. And when you do, the harmony rises again, and you feel whole. So rest in the thought that time is not only outside you, in stars and planets, it is inside you, woven into your breath, your hunger, your moods. The clock hidden in your cells is not something you must obey. It is something you may listen to, something that whispers of your belonging. It ties you to every creature that wakes at dawn, every leaf that opens to light, every tide that rises, every bird that sings. You're not alone in your hours. You're part of the ancient choir, the endless rhythm, the song of earth itself. The quiet clocks within you are not only guides of rhythm, but keepers of meaning. To live in their song is to feel that life is not chaos, but pattern, not accident, but harmony. Each cell, each tissue, each organ plays its part, and together they form the whole of you, a being that walks the earth in tune with sun and moon. When you pause to notice this, when you feel the rise of energy with dawn or the weight of stillness at night, you are touching the deeper truth, that your life is a dance already choreographed and yet lived fresh with every step. Consider how your days weave into one another. The mornings are not separate islands, they are beads strung on the same thread. Each morning carries the echo of the one before, and each night carries the promise of the one to come. Your clocks are the string that ties them, keeping the beads from scattering. Without them, days would lose their shape, nights would lose their calm, and you would drift unmoored. With them, life has rhythm, and rhythm is comfort. You need not measure every second with a watch, because your cells are already measuring for you, quietly, faithfully, without fail. The story of your inner clocks is also the story of connection. When the sun rises, it signals your eyes, and your brain adjusts. When you eat, it signals your liver, and your digestion adjusts. When you move, it signals your muscles and your strength adjusts. You're not a single note, but a chord resonant and deep. This chord does not play alone. It resonates with the chorus of the earth itself. The sun that guides your waking also guides the flowers. The darkness that leads you to rest also leads the birds to silence. The same dawn that stirs you stirs the oceans. The same dusk that softens you softens the fields. To honour your clocks is to honour this kinship with the world. Even aging's part of this rhythm. As you grow older, your clocks shift. Sleep may come earlier, hunger may change, energy may rise and fall in new patterns. These changes are not betrayals, they are variations in the music. A song changes key, a river bends, a tree grows new rings. To feel your clock's change is to be reminded that you are still in the dance, still part of the flow. You may miss the old rhythms, but the new ones carry their own beauty, their own wisdom. To accept them is to accept yourself as you are in this moment, still guided, still whole. There are times too when the clocks falter. Illness may disrupt them, stress may scatter them, sleeplessness may dull their beat. Yet always they try to return. Like a compass finding north, they seek alignment with light and dark, with rest and waking. When you care for yourself, when you step into morning light, when you rest in evening shadow, you help them return. You're not separate from their healing, you're part of it. To walk gently with your rhythms is to give yourself back to yourself. Imagine a field at sunrise. The air is cool, the birds stir, the flowers begin to open. The world is waking as one. Now imagine your body at the same time. Hormones shift, heart quickens, mind clears. You too are opening. The parallel is not coincidence, it is kinship. You and the field share the same clock, written in light, written in cells, written in the turning of earth. This kinship can be a comfort when you feel alone. It reminds you that you are part of something vast, something steady, something eternal. You are never out of time because you are part of time itself. Let us look forward, beyond the cycles of a day. Your inner clocks do not only keep daily rhythm, they also weave into longer patterns. Seasons shift and your body shifts too. Energy rises with spring, rests with winter, feels different with summer sun or autumn dusk. These longer rhythms are as real as the daily ones. They remind you that time is layered, like rings in a tree, like waves in the sea. You're not caught in a single cycle. You're part of many, all nested together, all holding you in their quiet arms. Some scientists speak of chronotypes, the natural leanings of people toward morning or night, toward early rising or late dreaming. These leanings are not flaws, they are variations in the great song. The lark and the owl both belong to the same sky. In the same way you belong whether your rhythm leads you to dawn or to dusk. To fight your rhythm is to resist yourself. To honour it is to live in peace. The clock in your cells is not a command. It is a suggestion, an invitation, a gentle path. You may walk it, and in doing so you may find calm. Think again of music, for music is the closest mirror of these clocks. Each beat has its place, but no beat exists alone. The song only lives when the beats are woven. Your body is the same. Each moment of hunger, each sigh of sleep, each spark of energy is a beat in the song. You may not hear the whole symphony, but you live it. You are the melody carried by countless rhythms, layered, delicate, true. And the beauty of it is that even when you stumble, the song continues. Even when you falter, the rhythm carries you. You're held in it, and it will not let you fall. So let the story end softly here. The clock hidden in your cells is not a prison of hours. It is a gift, a reminder, a lullaby. It tells you that you belong to the earth, that your body is not separate from the sky. that you are part of the ancient dance of day and night. When you wake, when you eat, when you rest, when you dream, you are not moving through time, you are time embodied and alive. The hidden clock is your song, and you are both the singer and the song, always here, always now, always whole. There are nights when you lie awake, staring into the darkness, and you feel the whisper of something beyond you. A memory flickers, or a dream of the future brushes your thoughts, and for a moment past and future blur together. It is as if your mind is a mirror, catching echoes from both directions at once. These echoes are not accidents. They are part of the way your brain, your body, and the universe itself are woven. The shadows of the past are still with you, and the echoes of the future may already hum in your veins. You live in the middle, in the lantern light you call the present, but all three, past, present, and future, lean toward one another, touching at their edges like waves on a shore. Memory is the first thread in this fabric. Each time you recall a moment, your brain does not pull out a perfect recording. Instead, it rebuilds the memory from fragments. A smell, a sound, the way the light once fell across a table. Your brain stitches them into a living picture, and when it does, the memory becomes part of your now. It glows again, not as past, but as present. This means that the past never fully leaves you. It is stored in connection between neurons, folded in like notes in a song. When you remember, the song rises again. The shadow of the past is not gone. It waits in your mind's quiet halls. Yet memory is not fixed. Each recall is also a rewriting. As you remember, you reshape, and the past shifts. Scientists say this is why memories change with time, why two people may recall the same event differently. In this way, the shadow of the past is alive, not rigid. It adapts, it breathes. It is like clay that softens each time it is held, shaped again by your present hand. So you are not only carrying your past, you are always reshaping it, always weaving it into your present self. The shadow becomes part of you, not as a burden, but as a companion. Dreams, too, are part of this weaving. When you sleep, your brain flickers with images, sometimes familiar, sometimes strange. It takes fragments of the past, blends them with fragments of hope or fear, and spins them into story. In this way, dreams are bridges. They connect shadows of the past with echoes of the future. They let you rehearse what may come while still carrying what has been. The dream does not follow the clock. It bends time, folds it, stretches it. You may live an hour in a few minutes, or revisit a moment from years ago. In dreams, the walls between past and future thin, and you feel their touch more clearly. Now let us think of the future. Unlike the past, you cannot recall it, but you can imagine it, and imagination is its own kind of echo. Your brain builds models of what may come. It predicts, it anticipates, it prepares. When you reach for food, your brain predicts the weight of the spoon, the taste of the meal. When you step outside, your brain predicts the chill of air, the brightness of sun. You're always leaning into the future, guided by these small echoes. Without them, you could not walk, could not speak, could not live. The future is already alive in you, in the form of endless small expectations. These are the echoes of what has not yet come. Consider also the larger echoes. When you plan for tomorrow, when you dream of what you will do, When you imagine your life years ahead, you are creating futures in your mind. Some may never happen, but the act of imagining gives them a kind of reality. They shape your choices, they guide your path. Even if the exact future does not arrive, the echo still matters. It has already shaped you. The shadows of the past form who you are, and the echoes of the future form who you will become. In this sense, you are always living in both directions at once. You are the bridge between what has been and what may be. Science suggests that even at the smallest levels, the future and the past are not as separate as you think. The equations that govern particles do not care about direction. They work the same forward and backward. Time's arrow, the sense that past leads to future, is something you experience because of entropy, the tendency for order to become disorder. But at the foundation, the laws are timeless. Some physicists even suggest that the future may influence the present, just as the past does. This idea is hard to hold, but it whispers of a deeper truth, that what you call time may be less like a line and more like a web, where all points touch in ways you cannot yet see. Think of music again, for music is a soft teacher. When you listen to a melody, the notes you have already heard linger in your memory, shaping how you hear the next. The notes to come pull at you with expectation, shaping how you feel the present. The beauty of the melody lies in this weaving, memory of what has passed and anticipation of what will come, both alive in the moment. Without memory, the melody would be only sound. Without anticipation, it would be only noise. It is the shadows and the echoes that make it music. So it is with your life. You are the melody, held together by memory and hope, shadow and echo. Picture yourself standing in a forest at dusk. Behind you, the path you walked is still there, full of footprints and whispers of birds you startled. Ahead of you, the path bends into shadow, unseen but already waiting. You stand in the middle, lantern in hand. The past does not vanish behind you. It waits, resting in silence. The future does not yet exist, but you sense its shape in the bend of the path, in the rustle of unseen leaves. You are the traveller, the bridge, the one who holds both. You are never only in the present. You're always woven with shadow and echo. This thought can be a comfort. If the past still whispers in you, it means you are never without its lessons, its joys, its loves. If the future already echoes in you, it means you are never without hope, without possibility, without direction. You're not caught in a narrow now. You are part of a larger weave. The shadows of the past and the echoes of the future are not enemies. They are companions walking beside you, keeping you whole. And in their meeting, in the place where they touch, you exist. You're the melody, you're the lantern, you're the bridge. So let us rest here, at the beginning of this story, in the soft truth that you are not bound by the thin line of time. You are surrounded by its layers. You live in its chorus. Shadows of the past rest in your mind. Echoes of the future hum in your steps. You are both. You are always more than the present alone. You're the meeting place, the song, the light in the middle of the web. And this truth, once felt, makes every moment softer, wider, more whole. Let us drift deeper into the weave of shadows and echoes, and see how the past and future are always brushing against your skin. You do not stand apart from them. You are their meeting. Each thought you carry is both memory and prediction stitched together in one moment of being. When you take a single step, the memory of how to move guides your muscles, and the expectation of where your foot will land pulls you forward. Past and future meet in that step, and you call it the present. This is not philosophy only. It is the way your body survives. Without memory, you could not walk. Without prediction, you could not move. The present is a bridge built in every instant, made strong by shadow and echo. Think of language, for it too reveals the dance of time. When you listen to a sentence, you do not wait for the end to understand it. The words you have already heard shape your sense of what is coming. If someone says, "Once upon a," your mind is already leaning toward time. The past words echo in your mind while the future words pull at you with expectation. The meaning of language is not only in the word you hear now, it is in the memory of what has been spoken and the anticipation of what is still to come. In this way, every sentence is a melody of shadows and echoes, and your mind dances in both directions at once. Your senses too are filled with these layers. When you touch something warm, your nerves carry signals that take time to travel. By the time the message reaches your brain, the warmth is already in the past. Yet you do not feel it as past. You feel it as now. This is because your brain blends the lag into the present, using memory to hold what just happened and prediction to guess what is about to happen. The result is a seamless moment, even though it is stitched from delay and guesswork. The present you feel is already a story told by shadow and echo, joined gently in your awareness. Memory itself is not a simple storehouse but a living map. It is not fixed like photographs. It is alive, reshaping each time you call it. Scientists have seen this in the way neurons fire differently when a memory is recalled, how connections shift and strengthen, how details fade or change. This is not failure, it is adaptation. Memory changes so that it can guide you better into the future. If memory were rigid, it would not serve you. Its softness is its strength. It holds enough truth to guide you, but enough flexibility to let you grow. Shadows are not cold, they are alive, breathing, shifting, walking beside you as you change. Now imagine the future not as blank, but as a field of possibilities. Your mind explores these fields every moment, often without you knowing. When you reach for a glass of water, your brain has already predicted its weight, its coolness, the motion of your hand. If the glass is heavier than expected, you adjust. This is the echo of the future in action. On a larger scale, you plan journeys, write lists, make promises. These too are echoes. They shape your choices long before the future arrives. The path you walk is never a surprise. It is already softened by the footprints of your imagination. You may not know which future will come, but you are already shaped by many of them. This is why hope is so powerful. To hope is to place an echo in your own path, a gentle sound that pulls you forward. Despair too is powerful, for it places a shadow of fear in the future, and the echo of that fear shapes your steps. The past whispers what you have known. The future hums what you might become. Between them you walk, and the mood you carry colours both. If you see the past with kindness, its shadows comfort you. If you see the future with hope, its echoes guide you. You cannot choose the facts of past or future, but you can choose the tone with which you listen to their songs. Dreams remind you of this constantly. They weave shadows of memory with echoes of possibility. You may dream of a loved one long gone, their voice rising from memory, mixed with a scene that has never happened, a future that will never be. Yet in the dream it feels whole, true, alive. This is the nature of your mind. It does not draw hard lines between what has been and what may be. It lets them touch, overlap, fuse, and from this fusion comes meaning. Dreams are proof that past and future are not opposites, but partners in the weaving of your soul. There are even whispers in physics that the future may not be sealed away. Some theories suggest that in the great block of space-time, the future is already present, just as the past is. Your path is already written into the sculpture, though you see it one step at a time. Others suggest that the universe itself leans towards states that include both memory of what was and the pull of what will be. To you, these ideas may feel strange, even impossible. Yet they echo the feeling you already know in your heart, that you are more than the narrow slice of now, that you are stretched between shadows and echoes, held in both directions at once. Think of a river once more. Upstream is the past, carrying leaves and stones, the memory of rain and mountain. Downstream is the future, carrying unknown bends, waiting forests, seas not yet touched. You stand in the middle, water rushing both ways through your mind. The ripples that reach you are made of both directions. The river is not a single line, it is a presence, a whole, and you are part of it. To say you live only in the present is like saying a wave exists without ocean. You are the whole water, flowing with memory and anticipation, shadow and echo. And so, as you walk through your days, you are never only here, you are also behind yourself, in the rooms of memory. You are also ahead of yourself, in the corridors of possibility. You live in both directions, and both directions live in you. The shadows of the past give you roots. The echoes of the future give you wings, and between them you grow. The present is not a prison of seconds. It is the meeting place of what has been and what may come. To feel, this is to feel yourself, as wide as time, as soft as memory, as open as hope. Let us linger here, in this awareness. Your breath carries the past air you have breathed and the future breath you will take. Your heart carries the shadow of every beat before and the echo of every beat to come. Your life is not one note, struck and gone. It is a chord, resonant, layered, endless. You are the echo of your ancestors. You are the shadow of your own future. You are the bridge, the melody, the gentle song that carries across the river of time. Now, let us walk gently into the closing of this story and let the shadows and echoes guide us to their meeting place. You have seen how memory reshapes the past, how imagination bends the future, and how both live in the lantern you call the present. But the truth is wider still. You are not moving from one to the other. You are always both. You are the shadow of what has been, and you are the echo of what will be, resting together in the same song. To feel this is to feel yourself as larger than a moment, larger than a single heartbeat, larger than the thin line of time. Memory, though it feels like a glance backward, is also a way of carrying forward. The lessons you have learned, the kindness you have felt, the pain you have endured, all of these shape who you are in this breath. They are not gone. They live in your cells, in your choices, in your tone of voice. The shadow of the past is not behind you. It is inside you, warm as the fire that once burned wood long turned to ash. You carry it like a river carries stones, polished and shining, always present in the flow. The future too, though unseen, is already touching you. Your dreams of what you may become, your fears of what may arrive, your hopes that brighten your steps, all of these are alive now. They shape your decisions, they bend your path, they colour your vision. The echo of the future is not ahead of you. It is within you, soft as a seed holding the shape of a tree. The seed does not wait to exist until the tree grows. The seed is already tree, folded and hidden. In the same way, the echo of your future is already here, folded within you, waiting for your gaze. When you live with this awareness, life becomes wider. A mistake is no longer only a scar of the past. It is also a teacher that shapes your future echo. A dream is no longer only a fantasy of the future. It is also a light that warms your present step. Everything you touch belongs to both direction. The laughter you share tonight is both a memory in the making and a seed of hope for tomorrow. The sorrow you feel today is both the echo of past loss and the shadow that will soften the heart of your future self. There is no separation, there is only weaving. Science too gives you glimpses of this weaving. The brain regions that recall the past are the same ones that imagine the future. To remember and to dream are acts of the same circuitry. The neurons do not know whether they are lighting for yesterday or for tomorrow, they simply light. This is why memory is not cold and future is not empty. They are both alive in the same fire. The shadow and the echo are made of the same sparks. You are not divided, you are whole, lit from both sides. Consider the sky at dusk when day leans into night. The shadows stretch long, and the echoes of morning linger. The colours are not of one time or another. They are a blend, a fusion, a meeting. You do not say this is only day or this is only night. You say this is sunset, and it feels like something larger than either. In the same way, your life is not only past or future. It is sunset. It is dawn. It is the blending of shadow and echo into a light that is wider than both. You are the horizon itself, where times meet and embrace. Even grief is softer in this view. When you lose someone, you may feel they are gone into the past, but their shadow remains in you, in your habits, in your stories, in your ways of loving. At the same time, their echo lives in your future, in the choices you make because of them, in the kindness you pass forward, in the legacy you carry. They are never only behind you, they are woven into your steps, both backward and forward. To love is to hold someone in shadow and echo at once, forever part of your horizon. Hope too grows deeper. To hope is not to grasp at something distant. It is to let the echo of the future sing in your present heart. Hope is not elsewhere, it is here in the choices you make now, in the softness you show now, in the courage you carry now. The future is not far. Its echo is already alive in your veins. Each act of kindness is not only a moment, it is a thread thrown into tomorrow, where it will glow again. Each dream is not only a thought, it is a seed already planted, already shaping what will come. You're not waiting for the future, you're carrying it. So let the story close like this. You are not trapped between what has been and what will be. You're the meeting of both. You're the music made when shadow and echo touch. You're the dusk that holds both day and night. You're the river that carries both stones from the mountain and seeds for the sea. To live in this awareness is to live in peace. You do not need to run from the past or rush toward the future. Both are already here, already part of you, already whole. Rest now in this thought. Your memories are not ghosts, they are living roots. Your dreams are not fictions, they are living branches. You are the tree standing in both directions at once, Shadows of the past fall across your trunk. Echoes of the future stretch into your leaves. And in the middle, here and now, you are steady, alive, complete, always shadow, always echo, always whole. If you close your eyes and imagine the smallest things, smaller than dust, smaller than the cells of your blood, smaller even than the proteins that fold inside those cells, you will come to the realm of particles. Here at this level, the universe dances in ways that defy your usual sense of time. You are used to clocks that tick, to hours that march forward, to days that unfold like pages in a book. But at the level of particles, time does not behave like that. It is soft, reversible, uncertain. The timeless dance of particles is a song that challenges your sense of past and future, reminding you that what you call time may only be a story told at larger scales. Picture two particles colliding in empty space. They rush toward each other, they meet and they part. To you, the sequence feels obvious, first before, then after. But the equations that describe this dance do not care which way you read them. Run them forward, run them backward, they are the same. This is one of the quiet truths of physics. The laws at the smallest scales are indifferent to time's arrow. They do not say, "This must happen before that." They only say this is the relation between them. The sense of before and after is not written into the particles, it is written into you, the observer. Quantum mechanics, the study of the tiniest, teaches this most clearly. A particle may be here or there or both until you look. Its position is not fixed, its motion not certain. It lives in a haze of possibility. Only when you observe does the haze collapse into a single fact. Some scientists describe this as probability waves, shimmering across space and time. The wave does not march from past to future. It exists as a whole, spread out, timeless. To look at it is to slice into it. To take one cross-section and call it now. The particle's dance is eternal, but your gaze makes it momentary. This is hard to hold in your mind because you are built for sequence. You like cause and effect, reason and result. You like stories that begin and end, but particles do not live in stories. They live in mathematics, in shapes that stretch across time. To understand them, you must let go of the idea that the present is special. You must see the whole dance at once, like a circle, not a line. When two particles interact, their fates may be linked forever, no matter how far they drift apart. This entanglement defies your normal sense of time and space. Measure one, and the other responds instantly, as if distance and time do not exist between them. It is as if the particles are not two, but one, stretched across space and time, whispering to themselves in silence. At the level of particles, even cause itself grows soft. You may think one thing must always come before another, but in certain experiments it is not clear what is cause and what is effect. Light may travel two paths at once, and only later does your choice of measurement decide which path it seems to have taken. In these strange games, the future seems to lean back and shape the past, or at least the way the past is revealed. You stand at the edge of mystery where time folds into itself, and the neat arrow you rely on bends into a loop. The timeless dance of particles is not far from you. It is inside you. Every atom in your body, every electron that flows through your nerves, every photon that touches your eyes, obeys these rules. Your sense of sequence, your sense of cause is a gift of scale, a kindness of numbers. At the level of millions of particles, patterns emerge. Heat flows from hot to cold, cups break but do not mend. entropy rises, and you call this time. But beneath it, in the smallest motions, the dance is timeless, reversible, eternal. You are made of both, the timeless dance and the flowing arrow, and both are true. Think of a snowflake, delicate and fleeting. To you it falls, it melts, it is gone. But to the particles within it there is no hurry. Their bonds form, break, form again, in patterns that care little for before and after. The snowflake is a brief moment to you, but to its atoms it is part of an endless cycle of water and air, of energy and rest. You see birth and death. They see only change, reversible and soft. The snowflake is both transient and eternal depending on how you look. Now imagine fire. Flames leap and vanish, sparks fly upward, smoke curls away. It seems wild, fast, urgent, but look closely and you will see particles trading energy, electrons jumping between states, photons released as light. Each leap follows timeless laws, each photon carrying a piece of eternity. The flame you watch is not rushing forward. It is a billion small dances, each reversible, each timeless. The urgency you feel is only the scale at which you stand. Beneath it, there is only the endless waltz of matter and energy. Your own thoughts are part of this. Each signal in your brain is an electrical pulse, carried by ions moving across membranes, triggered by proteins that open and close. At the level of molecules, these events are just dances of particles, governed by timeless rules. Yet when billions of them flow together, you feel thought, you feel memory, you feel time. The arrow of time is born from the chorus. The timeless dance becomes a melody you can follow, a song you can hum. Without the timelessness, there would be no time at all. Without time, there would be no timelessness to reveal its depth. Both are partners, not opposites. So rest in this. The smallest parts of you do not know past or future. They live in patterns that exist as wholes. Your sense of sequence is a lens, useful, kind, but not the only truth. Beneath your daily hours is a sea where before and after dissolve, where particles entangle and waves overlap, where the universe hums as one eternal chord. You are that chord. You are the timeless dance, and though you live by the clock, you are made of eternity. Every breath you take, every step you walk, every thought you think is both in time and beyond it. You are the arrow and the circle, the story and the song, the fleeting and the endless all at once. Let us drift further into the mystery of the smallest world, where particles move without regard for clocks or calendars, and the rules of your daily life dissolve into something softer. At this level, certainty becomes a haze, and the line between past and future fades. You may believe that reality is solid, that things happen in a clear order, but in the quantum realm, order itself is a fluid dream. Here the timeless dance of particles deepens, and the more you watch, the more you find that what you call time is only a shadow of something larger, something whole. Think of the double slit experiment, one of the most delicate and famous glimpses into this mystery. A beam of light is sent through two slits in a wall. You would expect the light to pass through one or the other, like tiny bullets. But what appears on the screen beyond is not two patterns of bullets. It is a wave, rippling with interference, as if each photon has gone through both slits at once. The particles behave like waves until you look more closely. When you measure, when you insist on knowing which slit they passed through, the wave collapses into a particle and the pattern changes. It is as if your choice in the present reshapes the story of the past, as if observation itself decides what has happened. The dance of particles is not bound to before and after. It is a shimmering whole waiting for your gaze to slice it. Entanglement adds to the strangeness. Two particles created together can remain linked, no matter how far they drift apart. If you measure one, the other answers instantly, even across oceans, even across stars. It is not that a signal travels between them, it is that they are not two, but one, stretched across space and time. Their dance is timeless because it is shared. When you think of connection, you imagine touch, nearness, contact. But at the level of particles, connection is not about distance. It is about wholeness. They are not bound by your arrow of time. They are bound by something deeper, something eternal. Physicists wrestle with these truths, building theories to explain them. Some imagine many worlds where every possibility plays out and your observation is only one path among infinite. Others imagine hidden variables, quiet causes that you cannot see but that decide the dance. Still others suggest that reality itself is not built of matter, but of information, bits of yes and no, patterns of relation. In such a view, time may not be a river at all, but a tapestry of data, already woven, already complete. The timeless dance is not about movement. It is about relation, about structure, about harmony beyond change. At larger scales, these mysteries average out into the familiar flow you know. Entropy rises, cups break, lives age. But the foundation remains timeless. This means that time, as you feel it, is an emergent story. It rises from the chorus of countless timeless dances. It is the song of particles played in such numbers that a direction appears. Without the chorus, there is no arrow. With the chorus, the arrow feels absolute. But the truth is softer. The arrow is real for you, but beneath it is the circle, the chord, the eternal dance. Think of music once more, but now not as melody, but as harmony. A single note has no before or after. It simply is. Only when many notes are played together do you hear rhythm, beat, progression. Time in music is born from relation, not from the notes themselves. The universe is like this. Particles are the notes, timeless, eternal. Time is the rhythm you hear when they play together in vast numbers. You are both, the note and the rhythm, the particle and the story. Your body offers countless examples of this. In your heart, ions flow in and out of cells, particles, moving according to timeless rules. Yet from their flow emerges the beat of your heart, steady as a drum. In your brain, electrons move through channels, obeying quantum laws that care little for sequence. Yet from their haze emerges thought, memory, awareness. You live in the arrow of time because your body is vast enough to create rhythm, but you are built from timeless dances that never knew arrows at all. You are the emergent story of eternity made rhythmic. Consider also the idea of time symmetry. In physics, many laws do not change if you reverse time. A particle in motion backward follows the same rules as one moving forward. At this level, time is not a one-way street, it is a mirror. Only when you climb to scales of heat and entropy does the mirror break. This means that the timeless dance is always present, even now, even here. The arrow you follow is real, but it's not the whole. Beneath it, the mirror still shines, unbroken, indifferent to direction. There are whispers too, that your own choices may be entangled with these timeless truths. Some experiments suggest that decisions made in the present can influence the way particles behaved in the past, or at least the way the past is revealed. If this is so, then past and future are not separate boxes, but one fabric stitched together by relation. You live in that fabric, woven of memory and possibility, shadow and echo. The timeless dance is not elsewhere. It is the ground beneath your feet. To hold this thought is not to lose meaning. It is to find comfort. If time is a story, then you are not trapped by it. You are part of the larger whole. Your beginning and your end are both already present in the timeless dance. You are not only moving forward, you are also resting in the eternal now. Every particle in you is a reminder of this. Every atom a whisper of eternity. The clocks you keep are kind, but they are not absolute. The arrow you follow is true, but it is not final. Beneath it all, you are made of timelessness, steady as the stars, soft as the quantum haze. So let yourself breathe with this awareness. You're not a prisoner of hours. You're a being made of notes that know no time, a song that rises into rhythm only when many voices sing together. You are the arrow and the circle, the moment and the eternity. The timeless dance is not beyond you, it is you, always here, always whole. Now let us drift into the quiet resolution of this story and let the timeless dance reveal its gentlest truth. You began with the idea of particles that move without caring for clocks, laws that unfold the same whether time runs forward or backward. You saw that beneath the arrow of time there is a circle, beneath the story of sequence there is a whole. Now it is time to rest in that wholeness, to see yourself not only as a traveller along the arrow, but also as a child of the timeless dance, always present, always complete. Think of light itself, for light is the purest hint of timelessness. A photon leaves a star, crosses the abyss of space and lands in your eye. To you, the journey may take years, centuries, or even millions of years. But for the photon, there is no waiting. From its own view, it leaves and arrives in the same breath. There is no in-between. The photon lives in eternity, and yet it is the photon that carries your vision, that allows you to see the stars, the faces you love, the trees at dusk. Your sight is born of timelessness, turned into moments by your mind. Every glance you take is a gift from eternity, softened into time so that you may hold it. Your body too is filled with this paradox. Every atom in you is ancient, forged in stars long before the earth was born. The carbon in your breath, the iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, all were formed in stellar furnaces scattered across space, gathered into you. The particles themselves are timeless, obeying laws that know no arrow. Yet here they are, gathered into a being that feels days and nights, seasons and years. You are the meeting of eternity and the clock. You are the arrow drawn with timeless ink. You are proof that time and timelessness are not separate but partners in one dance. Even decay, which feels so final, is only another face of timelessness. A stone crumbles, a leaf withers, a body ages. These are the arrows you see, the flow you cannot resist. Yet the particles within remain. They shift, they scatter, they join new forms. Nothing is lost, nothing is erased. The timeless dance continues beneath the surface of change. You grieve the arrow, but the circle holds you still. You are never truly gone because you are never truly bound to time. You are matter, energy, rhythm and silence flowing from one shape to another, always part of the eternal dance. Now imagine yourself as music. The song you hear has a beginning, a middle and an end, but the notes that make it are timeless. They exist as vibrations, as relations, as possibilities. It is only when they are arranged together that you feel rhythm, that you feel flow. Life is like this. To you it is melody. To the particles it is harmony. Both are real, both are beautiful, both are needed. Without the arrow you would not feel meaning. Without the timelessness, there would be no ground for the arrow to rest upon. You are the song, but you are also the silence that holds the song. Think of the night sky scattered with stars. Each point of light is not only a star, it is a story of timelessness. Some are so far that their light began its journey before humans walked the earth. Yet here it is, live in your eyes. You call it ancient, but to the photon it is only now. The sky you see is not only a map of space, it is a map of time, all gathered into one present. You look up, and you see past and present and eternity blended. The timeless dance is written in the stars, and in your gaze you become part of it. This understanding can soften the way you live. When you feel hurried, remember that the smallest parts of you are not hurried. They are eternal. When you fear endings, remember that nothing in you is ever truly lost. It only changes form, joins new dances, takes new shapes. When you feel bound by clocks, remember that beneath them is a rhythm that does not care for hours. You're already free because you're already timeless. The arrow is not your prison, it is your song. And beneath the song, the silence holds you. So let us close gently. The timeless dance of particles is not a secret kept far from you. It is your foundation. You are built from timelessness, shaped into time, flowing between both. Every breath you take is both arrow and circle. Every thought you think is both sequence and eternity. You're not only living in time, you're living as time, born of eternity. The particles that form you do not know before or after. They only know relation, harmony, wholeness. And you, carried by them, are already whole, always here, always now, always timeless. Imagine space not as emptiness, but as a vast fabric woven of invisible threads. Imagine time not as hours slipping away, but as the texture of that fabric stretched and curved by every star, every planet, every breath you take. This is space-time, the stage upon which the universe plays its story. But the stage is not flat, and the story is not fixed in ink. Every movement, every mass, every spark of energy carves into this fabric, leaving ripples, grooves, and shapes. To live is to carve, to leave a trace, to shape the dream of space-time itself. You are not merely passing through, you're writing yourself into the fabric. Einstein revealed this vision when he showed that space and time are not separate but fused into one. He showed that gravity is not a pull from afar, but the bending of space-time by mass. A planet bends the fabric and the moon rolls along the curve. A star bends the fabric and light itself follows the slope. Even you with your small mass are bending the fabric, though too gently for the eye to see. The universe is a loom, and you are both thread and weaver. Every step you take presses into the cloth. Every thought you carry leaves a faint vibration. Dreams are not only private, they are carved in space-time, faint but real. Think of the Earth as it spins. Its mass bends space-time into a well, and the moon circles within that curve. Around the Earth, satellites drift, their paths determined not by invisible strings, but by the gentle slope carved into the fabric. When they fall closer, they move faster, as though sliding down a hill. When they drift higher, they slow, as though climbing. This is the dream of space-time, the illusion of force born from curvature, the illusion of pull born from shape. The universe does not push or pull, it bends, and within its bends you move. Even light, which seems so swift and untouchable, is caught in this weaving. A ray of starlight passing near the sun bends, its path curved by the star's mass. What seems like straight travel is actually a curve through the fabric. Light does not resist, it flows where the fabric leads. In this way, light itself becomes proof that dreams are carved into space-time. The very beams that allow you to see are following grooves written by suns and planets, by black holes and galaxies. When you look at the night sky, you're not seeing straight lines of light. You're seeing threads bent by countless hands, woven into patterns that carry whispers of the carving. And then there are black holes, the deepest carvings of all. These are places where mass is so dense, so heavy, that the fabric folds in on itself. The curves grow steep, then steeper, until even light cannot climb out. To you, a black hole seems like an end, a place where time itself halts. But from another view, it is not an end but a transformation, a place where the fabric folds into shapes your mind can hardly hold. Black holes remind you that space-time is not fragile. It can be stretched, bent, folded, even torn, and you are part of the same cloth. Now think of yourself walking across a field. Your feet press into the soil, leaving faint impressions. The grass bends, then rises again. The air stirs, carrying ripples of sound. The earth itself shifts beneath your weight, minutely, invisibly, but truly. In the same way, every step you take presses into space-time. Your presence leaves a trace. You are not passing without mark. The dream you live is carved in the fabric, carried forward, faint but eternal. You are not apart from the cosmos. You are inscribed in it. Gravitational waves reveal this carving most clearly. When massive objects like black holes or neutron stars collide, they send ripples across space-time, waves that stretch and squeeze the fabric itself. These waves travel for billions of years, carrying the story of the collision across the universe. When they reach Earth, sensitive instruments can feel the faint tremor, smaller than an atom, yet real. This means that when you look at the sky, you are not only seeing light, you are also swimming in waves carved by distant dances, echoes of events from before your birth, still rippling through the fabric of now. Your dreams, though softer, also leave their mark. When you imagine, when you plan, when you act, you shift energy, you move matter, you alter the dance. Your choices bend the paths of others, just as planets bend the paths of moons. Your kindness, your love, your presence, these too are carvings. They may not be measured in equations of physics, but they are measured in the way lives curve around you, the way paths bend because you were here. To exist is to carve. To dream is to carve deeply. And so the universe is not a static picture, but a living fabric, constantly reshaped. Every star that burns, every planet that turns, every creature that breathes, every thought that stirs, all are carving. Space-time is not indifferent. It is responsive, alive in its own way, holding every groove, every ripple. To feel this is to know you are not lost in the vastness. You are written in it. Your life is a line on the tapestry. Your being is a thread in the dream. And when you move, when you love, when you live, you are not only experiencing time, you are shaping space-time itself. Let us wander more deeply into the tapestry of space-time, and let the carvings of stars and lives reveal themselves with quiet clarity. The universe is not a rigid grid. It is supple, responsive, woven of relations. Every mass bends it, every motion ripples it, every moment inscribes it. You're not moving through emptiness, you're walking through a sea of memory, a sea of presence, a sea of dreams, already etched into the fabric. To understand this is to understand that nothing is ever truly lost. Every step leaves a curve, every breath leaves a trace, every heartbeat leaves a pulse in space-time. Think of the stars scattered across the night sky. They are not still. They drift, they circle, they spiral in vast galactic arms. Each one carves as it moves, reshaping the fabric gently, endlessly. The Milky Way itself is a dance of billions of carvings, each star tugging the others, each motion bending the cloth. You cannot see the curves, but you live within them. The orbit of the Earth, the rise and fall of the Moon, the path of comets, all are stories written in the bends of space-time. You look up and see constellations, but beneath the shapes your eyes draw is a deeper pattern, the dream of the universe carved by mass and motion. Black holes, those deep folds in the fabric, remind you how profound these carvings can be. Imagine two black holes spiraling together. They circle faster and faster, their dance shaking the very fabric beneath them. When they finally merge, they send out a storm of gravitational waves, ripples that rush across the cosmos. Billions of years later, those ripples pass through you, stretching and squeezing space-time itself as they go. You do not feel it, but it happens. Your body lengthens and shortens. Your world breathes in and out as the waves wash by. This means that you are not only living in your own story, you are touched by ancient stories of distant stars still echoing now. Einstein's insight showed that time itself bends with space. A clock closer to a massive object ticks more slowly than one farther away. This is not illusion, it is the shape of space-time. Astronauts circling Earth age differently from those on the ground. A signal from a satellite must account for this bending, or your navigation would drift. Time is not absolute. It is carved by mass, curved by presence. This means that your own life, your own hours, are part of the carving. You're not outside of it. You're carried within it, like a boat on a living tide. Consider how even the smallest acts ripple outward. When you move your hand, you displace air. You shift molecules. You send vibrations into the fabric around you. These changes may be small, but they are real. The future will never be quite the same because of them. This is not poetry only. It is physics. Energy cannot vanish. It moves, it transforms, it lingers. Your presence alters space-time. Your life is a carving that cannot be erased. To know this is to feel less fragile. You are not a shadow passing quickly. You are a trace written into the universe itself. Dreams too are part of this story. They may seem fleeting, contained only within your mind. Yet every dream stirs neurons, fires pulses, shifts chemicals. Every firing is an exchange of energy, every thought a small ripple in the sea of space-time. And when you act upon a dream, when you change your life because of it, the ripple grows. Your path bends. The paths of others bend with you. In this way, dreams become carvings, as real as the orbit of a planet, as lasting as the ripple of a star's collapse. Dreams are not only private, they are inscriptions in the larger fabric. Let us picture a galaxy far away, its arms spiraling like a whirlpool of light. Within it, countless stars are burning, collapsing, colliding. Each event carves space-time. Some curves are deep, some shallow, some fleeting, some eternal. Now imagine that you are part of this same fabric. Your carvings may be smaller, but they are of the same cloth. The bending of space-time by your body, by your thoughts, by your actions, is woven into the same universe as the bending of galaxies. There is no separation. You are not less real. You are part of the same loom, part of the same dream. This view can bring comfort when you feel small. To know that your life is written in space-time is to know that you matter, not because of scale, but because of connection. The curve you leave may not be vast, but it is eternal. It is held by the fabric. It will not vanish. The universe is not a void that ignores you. It is a cloth that records you. Every breath is a stitch. Every heartbeat is a thread. Every kindness is a curve that shapes the lives around you, just as the gravity of a star shapes the orbits of its planets. The poets of physics speak of the block universe, where all of space-time, past, present and future, exists as one sculpture. In this view, your carvings are already present, already part of the whole. You do not make them, you reveal them. Your life is not a line racing forward. It is a groove already inscribed, a thread already woven. You are the traveller, but you are also the tapestry. Both are true, both are beautiful, and in this awareness you may feel a deep peace. Nothing is lost, nothing is wasted. Everything is part of the carving. So let us rest with this thought. The universe is not empty, and you are not alone in it. You are written into its fabric. You are carried in its curves. You are part of the timeless dream of space-time itself. Every step, every breath, every dream you hold is a carving that will never vanish. You are not only living, you are inscribing. You are not only passing, you are leaving light. You are not only dreaming, you are carving those dreams into the very shape of the cosmos. Now let us come gently to the closing of this final story and see how the carvings in space-time are not distant truths, but tender companions. You began with the thought that space is a fabric, time its texture, and all beings are threads in its weave. You saw how stars bend the cloth, how black holes fold it, how even light follows its grooves. You felt how gravitational waves ripple outward, carrying the memory of distant collisions into the present. And you came to know that your own life, your own dreams, are also inscriptions in this fabric. Let us rest now in the peace of this vision, where every breath is eternal, because it is already carved into space-time. Imagine standing on a quiet hill at night. The stars shimmer above you, scattered jewels across the dark. You feel small beneath them, yet when you breathe, you remember. The very act of your body holding mass, of your heart beating, of your thoughts moving, is bending space-time. The stars are grand, but so are you. The same laws that guide galaxies guide your cells. The same fabric that holds constellations holds your breath. You are not beneath the stars. You are alongside them, carved into the same eternal cloth. Consider how love too carves. When you love, your choices bend the paths of others. You say a kind word and a life changes course. You hold someone's hand and they feel strength they would not have felt alone. These are curves, ripples, grooves in the fabric. They are not erased when the moment passes. They remain, part of the weave, part of the eternal dream. Your life is not measured only in years or deeds. It is measured in the bends you create, in the way your presence shapes the paths around you. In this sense, to live is to sculpt space-time with love. The block universe, that great sculpture of all space-time, holds all of this at once. Your past is not gone. Your future is not absent. They are already carved. You walk through them step by step, but they are already there, shining quietly in the whole. This means that nothing is truly lost. The laughter you shared years ago is still written in the fabric. The tears you shed are still part of the weave. The choices you will make tomorrow are already curves, waiting for your feet to follow. You are always here, always inscribed, always whole. Even your dreams are carved, whether or not they come true in the way you imagine. To dream is to stir energy, to set neurons firing, to set ripples in motion. Those ripples touch others, shaping choices, guiding paths. Perhaps you dream of a journey, and though you never take it, the dream leads you to learn, to love, to change. The dream itself is the carving, and it remains. Nothing is wasted. Every dream leaves its trace in space-time, a gentle curve in the endless cloth. Now think again of gravitational waves, those ripples that stretch and squeeze the universe. They are faint, yet they travel across billions of years, carrying the story of stars. Your life is like this. The ripples you make may feel small, but they travel farther than you know, carried forward by those you touch, those who remember you, those who are shaped by your presence. Your carving is eternal not because it is vast, but because it is part of the fabric. No ripple is lost, no curve is meaningless. All are part of the dream. To live with this awareness is to live gently. You do not need to rush, for nothing you are is wasted. You do not need to grasp, for everything you love is already inscribed. You do not need to fear, for you are already eternal in the fabric. Your task is only to carve with kindness, to ripple with love, to bend with grace. The universe will hold the rest. The fabric is faithful, it keeps every trace. It remembers for you. So let the story end here softly. The dreams you hold are not only in your mind, they are carved in space-time. The life you live is not only fleeting, it is eternal in the fabric. The love you give is not only felt, it is inscribed in the weave of the cosmos. You are not passing through the universe. You are the universe dreaming itself, carving itself, weaving itself into endless form, always here, always now, always written in space-time.